let's talk about the importance of sexual purity. This video is dedicated to all young men. The information I'm about to drop is going to save you from ruining your life. Prevention is better than cure. It doesn't take a genius to look outside and see how many grown men have wasted their entire lives chasing after pleasure. There is no coming back after that. There is only regret, shame, and misery. And I don't want this to happen to you. So we're going to dive right into it. The other day, one of my subscribers, this young guy, he left a comment on one of my videos asking me to talk about this. He said, can you make a video talking about the statistics coming out that male virginity amongst men who are aged 18 to 29 is skyrocketing? He also says that around 30% of men in that age range in the USA are virgins. And it's not by choice or because they're godly men. What would be your advice to those men? Now, I don't know whether it's true or not, if it's 30% of men, but this is my piece of advice. Listen up. When it comes to dating, courtship, relationships, marriage, this one principle is all you need. If you have no intention of spending your life with her and you do not see her as being the mother of your children, stay away from her. If you are dating because you just want to have fun and see where it goes, it will not end well for you. Stay away from women you do not want to build a family with or share your life with. If that offends you, you are nothing but a boy. And the problem with most men today is that they are boys. And the thing about boys is that they only care about pleasure and entertainment. They don't want accountability. They don't want self-control. They don't care about the truth. They just want to have fun and clown around. And then, because they care about pleasure and entertainment, and they're so soft, they like to copy other men because they want to fit in with the crowd. See, they want to be accepted by everyone. They're afraid that society is going to point the finger and call them nasty names or say that they're weird because they don't want to sleep around. When I'm the opposite. If you hook up, if you give your body to strangers, you're a fucking degenerate and you're a loser. You're so weak that you can't even abstain. What does that say about you as a man? You have no character. The reason why I'm going so hard in this video is because I know what is at stake. It's all fun and games until you get the wrong woman pregnant. Now, I learned the lesson the hard way and I want to share this experience so that you can all learn from my mistake. Going back to 2018, okay? I just turned 20 and me and my girlfriend back then, we were having sex. Now, the thing is, we were incompatible. She had a lot of issues. I was young. We weren't right for each other. But as young people do, you're in a relationship, you think, we can have sex, it's safe. And of course it wasn't. So one day she messages me and says that her period hasn't come and it's been a few weeks. We think it's nothing of it, but she just let me know. About a month goes by, same thing, her period hasn't come yet. Naturally, this puts us both on edge and we begin to worry that the inevitable has happened. She may very well be pregnant. A few more weeks go by and still nothing. At this point, we both accepted that she pretty much is pregnant and we were both going to have to accept the fact that we were going to have a kid. But what happened? By some freak of nature, some strange accident, whatever happened, she was really sick. She went to the bathroom and she was vomiting. Whether that was like some type of involuntary miscarriage, whatever happened. After that, later that day, after she was sick, her period came back. So for whatever reason, I was spared of being a single father and she was spared of being a single mother. The reason why I'm using the term single is because there is no way me and her would have stayed together because we weren't compatible. And I nearly paid the price in full. Do you see how dangerous things are? And it was such a scary experience. I wouldn't wish that on anyone. But being a Christian, I knew, okay, I'm going to have to accept that if I have a kid, I'm going to have a kid. This is not a joke. This is happening on the daily to men and women around the world because they're not taught about discipline, about sexual purity, about being so careful of who they share their body with. Even if you don't sleep around, just being in the relationship, just being in a relationship. How many of you who have had a relationship fail would look back now at your ex and think, thank goodness we didn't have kids together? Exactly. So you want to take your life seriously. But when you're young and you're a boy, you care about pleasure because there's no one teaching you otherwise. And that's the risk. And I learned the lesson the hard way. Guys, I could be sitting here today with a 3-4-year-old kid, little Christian. What's up, guys? That would have really set me back. Okay? And obviously that relationship I had with her, after that experience, man, we both we lost connection because it was very scary and we both realized how wrong it was. And shortly after that, we broke up. And that was the end of that. But what did I take from that? I made a promise to God. You know what? Thank goodness I didn't end up a single dad. So from this point on, I'm never going to give my body to a woman unless I find, the woman I eventually spend my life with. I'm doing it God's ways now because I tried to do it my way and it didn't work out. So the last time I had sex was 2018. Since then, I've not given my body out. That right there is fucking discipline, self-control to the max. How many men do that today? Very few. I'm doing it by choice. It is a decision. And at the beginning, it was kind of hard. And then it becomes easy. But I had a strong enough emotionally compelling reason to keep me going because I know what is the downside of being with the wrong woman. You end up a single father and there is no fucking coming back from that. And for the women watching, it's the same thing. You want to be so careful. But again, going back to the men listening, guys, please listen to the mistake that I made. I mean, I wouldn't wish that on anyone. But what do we see now? Guys live that way. They don't want to be responsible. And so what happens? They get the woman pregnant. It doesn't work out. They hop on YouTube and they start crying about, I got to pay child support and, all women are the same. You got her pregnant, dickhead. That's on you. Don't have sex with her unless you have the intention of spending your life with her. If you've vetted her background and you know without a shadow of a doubt that she's wife material, she's assessed the same with you. You're both mature. You're somewhat prepared to share your life. Go ahead. Do it God's way and it will work out for you. But if you're not sure, stay away. Because when you live for pleasure, you are not following a blueprint. And most men don't have a vision for their life. This is why they're lost. And they're going the easy route, which is by seeking pleasure to give them some type of fulfillment. But the thing about pleasure, it is a fleeting emotion. You have to keep chasing it. And it's founded upon lust and selfishness, not righteousness, not truth. And that's a dangerous thing. So Christian, what's the blueprint? I'll tell you. As a man, you need to be part of something that's bigger than yourself. So you need to look at your life. For you young men, you're in your teens, you're in your 20s. The world is your oyster. It's a beautiful world out there. There's many places to go and things to do. But as a man, you need a mission. You need to be doing something with your life. Find a way to serve humanity. Make the lives of those around you easy or better. Through your career, your job, your business, your side hustle. Do something with passion. Give it your touch. Because you have talents, you have skills. And as a man, you want to channel that energy that you have to something like that. Because that's how you make something out of yourself as a man. It gives you something to do. That's what you need to do. That's masculine. Grab life by the balls. Because if not, what happens? You sit there, you're doing nothing, and it's what we call weekend millionaires. Guys go out every Friday and every Saturday to the club and they waste all their money. Instead, you could save your money and you could invest in other assets. You could create a side hustle. Okay? You could invest in real estate, crypto, stocks, whatever you want. You could invest in a business. You can create something. But most guys don't think that way because all they're worried about is lust, 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 sex, 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 pleasure, pleasure, pleasure. What does the Bible say? Pleasure leads to poverty. See, if you are in your late teens or your 20s and you're doing nothing, why don't you look 10, 15, 20 years ahead to the future? What is my life going to look like? Because when you have an end goal of something you're striving towards, the path is laid out for you. See, when you're a man on a mission and you know, okay, for example, let's say you're watching this and you're 18, you're 20. You one day want to be a father. You one day want to be a husband. Great, you can prepare now. Learn how to lead, protect, and provide for yourself. Start doing that for those around you. Be involved in your community. Hang around good, righteous men. Okay, you're on my channel, you're learning about relationships, so you can know what to look for in a good woman and how to maintain that bond. Great. But in the meantime, keep your sexual purity. And understand the risks of getting involved with the wrong woman is you set yourself up for failure. And then you will ruin your 20s. And if you waste your 20s, you will spend your 30s and 40s picking up the pieces and amending the wrongs you made. But you can start fresh if you're young and learn from the mistakes of others so that you can make better choices and have a good future ahead of you and reap the rewards in your most virile, your strong years. That's what you should be doing as a man. Because I look at the future and I say, where do I want to be in my 30s or 40s? I'd like to be a father. I'd like to be a husband. So I'm preparing now. I'm grinding out my business. You should be grinding out yours or your career. Or you should be building yourself up as a man, optimizing your health, your wealth, so that you can prepare to build a righteous relationship. And it all starts with you and getting right with God. See, most men don't want to do that because it's hard work. And pleasure's easy. It's easy to cop out and go out to the club and, be a degenerate and do the things that people do over there, which I'm not going to mention. It's easy to do that. But when you discipline yourself and you remove yourself from that environment and you use the hours in the day to make something out of yourself as a man, you've got something to focus on. Now you're grinding. Now you got purpose. That gives you direction. Now you got something to lose because you know what you're building up or what you've achieved. And you don't want to risk that for an immoral woman, for something casual. See, that gives you higher standards for yourself because you yourself have made your life a priority. But when you're living for pleasure, what are you doing? You're only worried about the emotion that you're feeling right now, which is going to disappear in a few minutes or a few hours. Then you're right back to square one. Then you feel ashamed. You regret that decision. Take it from me. I learned that lesson the hard way 4 years ago. And I made that promise to God. I'm not giving my body to another woman unless she's going to be my future wife. And I've maintained my chastity, my abstinence to this day. And I take it seriously because I could have screwed myself up big time. And I wouldn't be here today teaching you all these things. See, I'm dropping a gem today because I know there's young men listening. Please heed my advice. Don't waste your youth chasing pleasure.